I'm Rachel Sykes. I'm an educational psychologist by training, but I've been involved on the high performance programme as a performance, lifestyle and mind coach. So helping any youngsters on the programme if they may have issues around lifestyle, fitting in, things like all the pressures that they might feel regarding amount of time training, coping with schoolwork, any other pressures or things which might be impacting on them being able to perform to their best regarding their sports.
My name's Steve Evans and I'm the Medical Director of the High Performance Programme.
So why did you want to be involved in the programme?
I think it's really important that we try to encourage as much sport as possible, particularly in children, to try and keep them active, and I think the High Performance Programme shows that we have got good athletes on the island and we should be doing what we can to support them, and I think it gives other athletes something to aspire to, and it's a relatively small amount of time and hopefully we're making quite a big difference.
My name's Dennis Mulkerin. I'm involved in helping out with the Sports Commission High Performance Gym, essentially running all the inductions for the people who need to use it and coaching down there as well.
So why did you want to be part of this programme?
Well, I retired back to Guernsey in 2010. I'd been a head teacher for 20 odd years in England, but I'd also had a lot of experience working in weightlifting as a coach for the British junior team. And when the Sports Commission set up the High Performance Centre, I worked with Stuart Follar and other people in terms of what was needed in the gym. One area that I'm responsible for is the induction programme. Because the gym doesn't have permanent coaches there all the time, you need to have an induction programme. The gym is not for people who want to build up their biceps or try and get some abdominal muscles there because summer's coming on and they want to look good at Basel. It's not for that. It's not for people who want to lose a few inches around the waist. It is for serious Guernsey sports people to do serious training. That's what it's about. But because the gym is not permanently staffed, they have to do an induction programme simply for insurance reasons, and I run that. The induction programme is, if there's a group of 20, for example, it takes about 2 hours, and the key thing is about the safety aspects, health and safety aspects of using the room, on the weight side, on the conditioning side, and so on there.
I think it's a great opportunity for me personally to develop my skills, to learn a lot about how these young people are sort of having to juggle everything that they've got going on in their lives, and to use the skills that I've got regarding psychology and how they can start thinking and behaving in the way that's going to be most effective for them to be performing at their best, using things like goal setting, prioritising any areas that they've got regarding their training, linking their thinking with what the coaches are thinking, so sort of getting a bigger picture and a whole picture of what their needs are and how best we can meet those.
From a medical point of view, we've introduced a screening programme for all the athletes on the High Performance Programme, which has, I can't break confidentiality obviously, but it's turned up one or two things that would have been concerning if we hadn't known about them, and they've been sorted fairly quickly, and it means that the athletes and their parents can be reassured that they're safe to compete at the highest level. I think as well as the screening programme, I'm in a position as in my role from the MSG, and the MSG has been able to offer some support, and we've said that we'll fast track the high performance athletes through so they're investigated and dealt with promptly, so they miss as little of their sport, the competitions and training as possible. I'm not a sports medicine doctor, but I think I'm in a position to try and facilitate, and Guernsey's a small place, so you tend to know people, and you can sort of have a quiet word here and there to try and smooth people's passage through the system.
Well, I'm full of admiration for what Guernsey, or should I say the Sports Commission in Guernsey, has achieved in terms of this area. I mean, I'm looking out now at the Macdonald Centre. That wasn't there 3 years ago. It is now being used by, 220 odd people have done the induction, and that's a lot of people who are benefiting from the use of that gym that couldn't benefit from it 3 years ago.
It's great that we've got so many people wanting to help and wanting to support, and I think continuing those links and everyone knowing very clearly who's got what role and who they can go to for support, and Jeremy obviously coordinating that. I think maybe thinking about young people, considering what steps they might need to take next in order to be their best, and that might be, for example, going off island and living off island, and maybe looking at that and starting to prepare people for that a bit sooner.
I think the programme has come on in leaps and bounds over the last 2 or 3 years, and there's more and more athletes being involved. I think the standards are improving, and I'd expect it. Well, I hope it continues as it is. Really, I think it's been a real eye-opener, certainly for me, as to what you can do with a reasonably limited amount of resources, and the difference you can make if you target your resources in the right way.